How's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of this cooking series. Today I have a very special recipe for you. In the north part of Mexico they call it menudo. In the south part we call it pancita, but we all love it. Today we're gonna make menudo with the best salsa molcajeteada. If you never tried it or you want to know how to make it, stick around. Let's get it. For the first part of this recipe, we're gonna start by blanching the main ingredient of this recipe, which is the pancita. Cut your pancita in medium pieces and reserve. If you have trouble finding this ingredient, you can always go to a Mexican local store and I'm sure they will have it for you. Next step, fill a big pot with water and place it on medium-high heat. We're gonna add the whole limes and the lime juice with some white vinegar, and don't worry about quantities because everything is going to be on the description of this video. Place your pancita in the pot. Let it cook for about hour and a half to 2 hours. This first process is gonna help to remove all the impurities and it's gonna help tenderize the meat. Past this process, drain all the water, get rid of the limes, and rinse your pancita with cold water and reserve. Once the meat is cooled down, you can cut it in small pieces. I like to cut it in small squares. Put it back on the same pot, but this time with new water. Season with half onion and salt. This is gonna be your final broth. To season the broth, you're gonna need chile guajillo, garlic, oregano, clove, cumin, black pepper, and mejorana, which I think is marjoram in English. And don't worry again about quantities because everything is going to be on the description of the video. Clean your chiles by cutting the tops, then cut them in half, remove the seeds and reserve. If you want your pancita to be super spicy or you just like spicy food, you can skip this process. But I'm only using the chile guajillos for flavor, so I'm removing all the seeds in all of them. Okay guys, so now we have our chiles that they're clean. We're gonna put it on the comal and then we're just gonna toast them. Be aware that these burn really fast, so just make sure you are always looking after them, always moving your chiles because this is not gonna take more than 3 minutes. After they're done, we're just gonna soak them in hot water, let them hydrate, and then just let them sit for about 15 minutes before we take them to the blender and we start seasoning our salsa for our menudo. We're gonna do the same thing with about 20 or 30 pieces of cherry tomato. I like to use these ones because these have a sweeter and bitter taste. But if you don't like these ones, you can always use the regular tomato. That's fine. Stay looking at them because these are super small and they just burn really fast too. So once they're done, we're just gonna take them out and then we're gonna start blending our salsa. So as you can see, my tomatoes are already cooked. I'm just gonna take them out and we're ready to blend our salsa to season our pancita or menudo. Now in the blender we're gonna add our chiles that we already have soaking in hot water with some of the water. I don't want all of it, just about 1 cup. We're gonna add our garlic and our spices. And our tomatoes. So we're gonna season with salt only, about 2 tablespoons, and we're gonna blend. Now we're gonna add our salsa into the pancita. Now that I added the salsa in the menudo, I'm just gonna let it cook for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, or until the menudo is soft.
2 hours later.
Okay guys, so it's been 2 hours since we start cooking the pancita. The meat is already soft, so we're gonna add our last ingredient. This is epazote seco. You can always use epazote fresco. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna turn off the heat and I'm gonna add a big bunch of epazote seco, and I'm just gonna let it sit for about another 15 minutes. And now we're ready to start making our salsa molcajeteada. Let's go. For the salsa, pretty simple. We're gonna start by adding tomatillos, garlic, onion to the comal, chile guajillo, last chile de arbor. With the chiles, we're gonna do the same process that we did on the salsa for the menudo. We're gonna really just keep moving them, and then we're gonna pass them into hot water to let them cook for about 5 minutes. We're gonna start by making our salsa. This is a traditional molcajete. If you don't have one of these, you can always use the blender. But believe me, you can ask to any Mexican. Salsa tastes better in a molcajete. So we're gonna start by adding garlic and onion. Then some salt. And we're gonna start smashing everything. We don't want like a super blend salsa. We want like have like chunks of garlic, onion, chiles, everything. So we're gonna start by smashing and working the molcajete. Once we have a paste like this, we're gonna start adding our chiles. It's gonna take a while, but believe me, it's worth it. Salsas made in molcajete taste just way better. This is the traditional way of making salsa. Now we're gonna add the tomatillos, and we're gonna do the same thing. Just keep smashing and putting our salsa together. You can see everything is starting to get all together. That's how I like my salsas, just with big chunks. But at the same time, it's all mixed together. Now, the last ingredient, we're gonna make this salsa borracha because we're gonna add some mezcal to it. Just a touch. That's it. And mix. I just need a tortilla, put some salsa in it, and we're good to go. Tell me if this is not the most beautiful salsa you've ever seen. And it's so easy. If you don't have one of these, I really recommend you buy one of these because it makes a huge difference when you're making salsa. So now we have everything. Now let's get ready to plate. I'm gonna serve my pancita with fresh corn tortillas. If you don't know how to make corn tortillas from scratch, check my last video. There I show you how to work masa from scratch. I'm gonna leave the link in the description of this video. Now we have our pancita right here. We're gonna garnish with some chopped onion, fried chile de arbor, Mexican oregano, and this is how you make the perfect menudo. This is how we do it in Mexico. Cheers, guys. You need to try it and you need to make it at home. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you like it, please click the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much.